Memphis has just been such an immature team,
Yeah.
and they talk, and don't walk.
What are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now?
All right, welcome to another episode of What Are They Going to Say Now? Jay and Tony back here, and it's been a little while. I was a little under the weather. Somehow, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, feeling better today.
Good to have you back, man.
Yeah, it's perfect timing because it's day one right now that we're recording of the official NBA playoffs.
This is the new season, right? That's what they say. It all starts over now, man, and it's going to be fun.
It's my
I have
favorite
no idea
time of
what's
the year.
Going to happen. Yeah,
it's my favorite time of the year. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But before we get into the playoffs, we should do a roundup of the regular season awards and who our picks were for them. Not necessarily who we think will win, but who our picks are. Although I think some of those will align.
Yeah, probably.
I'll start it off with MVP. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid.
Yep.
I know it's a regular season award, but I mean, okay, Jokic hasn't been to a conference finals. You cannot give him 3 in a row without that. And I know that's unfair, but I guarantee you, I've heard elsewhere, a lot of the voters and stuff were going on that as well. And the same thing applied to Giannis before he won a chip,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm with you. I got Joel Embiid as well.
And then it's not just against Jokic. Embiid is deserving.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a great year. The Sixers have been great this year, right? It goes off your team record as well. They've been really great, really a big force in the East. And I also feel like if you're pitting Embiid and Jokic against each other, I would say over the second half of the season, Embiid has definitely been stronger, and and the team wise, like Denver struggled more, and it's a lot of momentum. The MVP race, I feel like, especially if it's close. So if somebody has the momentum at the end, head to head matchups have been going towards Embiid. Like, I think,
and Philly has the best record in the league after the first 15 games. They had a really horrible start, and then they've had the best record in the league. So
there you go. And he's been fairly healthy this year too, right? Which is big for him because Embiid in the past, that's kind of why he probably hasn't won before.
Yeah. So. And a special shout out to Giannis, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis is always great. I think what you said, maybe previous episodes, or maybe we both said, is that in order for you to win multiple MVP awards, and especially 3 in a row, you have to have a spectacular year. And Jokic started that way and has kind of, fallen off a bit. So it's no knock against him. He's still a great player.
It's been a 3-man race, kind of, not only for a while, like going back multiple seasons between Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. And the other two have 2, and Embiid has none, and that feels wrong. So it's his time.
Absolutely.
He earned it. So, all right. Let's do Rookie of the Year. Banchero.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much been the.
He's going to take it
consensus.
Almost unanimously. He's been good.
Yep.
Great rookie season.
I saw a list of people who had voted, and just like a small sample size, and everybody on the list voted for Banchero except one person who voted for Walker Kessler.
Yeah,
he's also been a good rookie.
Some writer in SLC.
Yeah, so then you got of course you got people bashing on him and all that, and he's been good. I think if you vote for him, I don't think it's like a horrible vote, but the majority are going to vote for Banchero, which we said from Summer League, right?
Yeah,
it's our guy.
It's a slam dunk,
right?
Yeah. Okay, Defensive Player of the Year. First, I want to qualify this by saying that Draymond Green is the best defensive player in the NBA. He still is.
Absolutely.
But he did not play enough games.
Right.
That's it. It would be him without a doubt, but he didn't. So I'm going to go with Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. in Memphis.
Yep.
He's a block machine. Just he can. Here's the thing: he's a block machine, and he protects the rim like, say, a Rudy Gobert. But unlike a Rudy Gobert, he can go out to the perimeter and give you problems. So he's far more versatile. And so for me, He's earned it.
He also doesn't punch his teammates that I've seen. So I mean,
It's funny.
The
two other names we mentioned, Draymond and Gobert, both punch teammates.
Right. No, I agree with you. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is deserving of it this year. I've been hearing a lot of noise about a push. Maybe it's from Cleveland, but a push for Evan Mobley, who I think is a really good young defensive player. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's had a really good year though. But yeah,
what I know is when I see Memphis on, Triple J on the floor in Memphis, he's a presence.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
And he erases a lot of mistakes that they make, right?
Yeah, because their guards aren't great defenders.
No.
And he helps, clean up that mess a little bit.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah.
Most improved player for me, this is an easy one, and it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He put up monster numbers. He actually put up like MVP level numbers this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been great. It's hard to argue against him. I think I do have a different name that I'm going with. I'm going with Jalen Brunson. Which is
good too.
Tough because he was a good player last year.
Right.
But I just feel like he's taken a big step up in leadership and in role and in all his categories. And
he's carried that Knicks team. He's carried. It's his team now. It's his.
I'm telling you. I mean, you could say the same for Shai, right? He's carried kind of a mediocre team also. For me, it's a toss-up. I just, I want to give Jalen Brunson some love.
I like that one too. Really good, that too.
But I think Shai might get it. He's got more points, right? He's a little. I feel like he might be a little flashy.
His numbers are ridiculous.
But Brunson's super consistent and impressive. So
SGA will be in the MVP conversation next year if that team gets more wins. Because I mean, if he keeps producing like that, if you look,
surprised if he got some third place votes this year,
or like fifth or whatever.
Or fifth.
Yeah,
something. You know what I mean? So, so I think both are deserving. We'll see what happens.
Coach of the year, and he already won it, and it's a slam dunk. It's Mike Brown in Sacramento.
Yeah, absolutely.
Longest playoff drought in sports, turns that team around, makes them the highest scoring offense, highest scoring offense in the league. Yeah, I mean it's Mike Brown, and he already won. They already announced that one.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved, right? Of course, he's got the Warriors pedigree, so we appreciate it even more. But no, he's just a great guy, great coach. I feel like he's able to get players to listen to him and to buy in to what he's selling. And for a team like Sacramento that was coming in,
they needed that leadership.
Really struggling. Absolutely.
They needed that leadership.
Yeah. So shout out to Mike Brown, man.
Yeah. Who we'll see play against our Warriors.
See
tonight.
A lot of him. Yeah.
Clutch player of the year. I have going Sacramento again. De'Aaron Fox. He, I watched a lot of Sacramento games this year, and late in games, he was money. And on top of that, they keep clutch data stats for late in games, and he was the highest ranked in the league on those metrics.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
I'm with you. De'Aaron Fox he's a problem this year, and the pick and roll game that he has, so deadly, man. Because he's so fast. His float game is unreal. He can just get in there. You think he's going to drive all the way to the paint, and he floats back. And I mean, like you said, his clutch stats, his fourth quarter, just way he's able to attack and get his points when he needs to, or make other plays also, right? Assists, whatever he has to do. It's really impressive. So,
side note on that though, there was a player who had better fourth quarter stats. He's called Stephen Wardell Curry. He was a monster in the fourth quarter this year, but he didn't play enough games.
There you go.
So disqualified on that.
Yep. But we know he's clutch.
Yeah. His fourth quarter numbers are ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, sixth man of the year. And this is always a tough category. For me, I don't know. So I really just relied on the three finalists, and based on what I had just seen in general, I went with Bobby Portis in Milwaukee.
Okay.
I just felt like, when I had seen Milwaukee, he would just show up in big moments with a block, or I don't know. He just jumped out at me a lot of those games. Mm-hmm. So, highlight reels too.
Yeah. No, good player. Good player on a good team, right? That's usually the sixth player, like the guy who'll come in
Yeah.
and be great. I have Malcolm Brogdon on Boston. Similar theory though. Just a guy who comes in, knows his role, comes in, does what he does, has saved them in a few games, right? He can come in and score and do whatever's necessary. Both good players though. I think it could go either way.
Right. All right. Well, moving on to the actual playoff series beginning tonight or today, right now, a couple hours as we record this. Let's start with the West, and then we'll go to the East.
All right.
So we got the 1 seed Denver against the play-in winners Minnesota. I have Denver. Denver in 5.
Wow. Okay. I actually think it's going to be a little closer than that. I think I'm going Denver as well. Minnesota has, famously fumbled some games, right? I think they fumbled that game against the Lakers. They should have won that.
Yeah.
And then you had all the on the court, off the court stuff. You know what I mean?
Sideline.
Right. But, people throwing punches, guys breaking their hands, punching the wall. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Tunnel.
Yeah.
That was before the Lakers game.
Right.
Those two incidents. But so I think, and Naz Reid being out is big. He hurt the Warriors a lot this year. He's just kind of a guy that can fill it up. So I think ultimately Denver wins, but I think it's going to go, I'm going to say 6 games on that one. I actually think they're going to put up a little bit of a fight. I'm not picking them, but I don't think Denver's going to have an easy time of it because you do still have some weapons on that team, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man. I'm expecting a big playoffs from him. He struggled in that Lakers game really bad. I think they would have won if he didn't struggle as bad as he did.
Yeah, he had a really bad game.
Really
although
bad.
he did make a really fantastic defensive play.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you don't see a guard going up to the rim and blocking a power forward.
Yeah.
That was cool to see.
Yeah. He's a great player.
Yeah. But he struggled in that game.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I got Denver in 6.
Okay.
I think it's going to be an interesting series.
All right. Well, next up we got Memphis against the Lakers, and this one will be interesting.
Memphis has home court. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Okay. I don't have a pick yet. I have it going 7 games.
I was going to say I got 7 also. Okay.
And I don't have a pick yet. I don't know. There's a couple things. One, Memphis is missing Steven Adams. And that's a big deal against LeBron and AD in that size.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big hole for Memphis. The other thing is Dylan Brooks can't help himself, and he has to open his mouth because he's an idiot. And he's like, "Oh, we want LeBron early so we can get him out of here, knock him out early." And it's just like, dude, don't poke the beast.
Right?
Don't poke the beast. LeBron's shown like you don't chirp. So. Yeah, I just, and it's like Memphis has just been such an immature team.
Yeah.
And they talk and don't walk. And so I got to go in 7 and flip a coin. I don't know. I think it, the Lakers have also finished really strong. I think they went 10-2 to finish the season. So they're a different team since that trade.
I agree. I will say the last game we saw them play did not impress me. Against the Timberwolves, they looked bad. Both teams were bad. It was an ugly game, which happens sometimes in a pressure do or die game. But that really kind of, I was like, this might be rough.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a pick. I'm going to say I think Memphis is going to win this year.
I'm going to make the pick too. I'll go Memphis.
Yeah.
I think Ja Morant is going to give the Lakers real problems.
I think that's a big part of it. I think it's a lot of youth, right? A lot of athleticism. I am worried about the big man depth, like you said, with no Steven Adams. And they also, Brandon Clark is also a big loss for them in that, because he kind of was a backup to Steven Adams and kind of an energy guy and all that. So I'm going to be looking at Jaren Jackson Jr., who we said we thought was Defensive Player of the Year. I worry about his foul trouble. Always.
Yeah, it's always an issue. Yeah.
So if he's in foul trouble, they're in big trouble. So I think that's going to be something they stress. And the Lakers also draw a lot of fouls. So he has to be really careful. In general, they have to be really careful because, Austin Reeves, the whistle that he gets is unbelievable. Some of these guys, they live at the line, you know? So, playoffs, they tend to swallow the whistles a little bit. So maybe a little bit.
Which I love.
Yeah, it's great.
So we're already seeing it with the playing games. The playoff basketball is so much better.
They're letting them play. We're not paying to see guys at the line, or refs, or refs trying to take over the show. That's not.
Well, and see actual defense. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I have Memphis in 7. I have, I think their youth is going to wear on the Lakers a bit.
Yeah, young team versus an older team for sure.
Something interesting with the schedule there is that, they're playing, they have like a 2-day break in the first couple games. And then after that, every other day, they're playing.
Got it.
And to me, that's advantage Memphis. Like advantage young legs, travel, all that stuff is, I feel like, gonna play into the Lakers struggling a little bit towards the back end of the series. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, I have Memphis going in 7 games.
All right, next up, we have the game that we will be watching closely tonight. Sacramento Kings against the Golden State Warriors.
It's going to be fun, man. The I-80 series, right?
Yeah. I looked at tickets for game 1 in Sacramento, and I guess it's the most expensive. That. Yeah. It's the most expensive game, first round tickets in NBA history.
Insane, dude.
Because you have 2 fan bases that all live together bidding in the same tickets.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Kings fans want to go because they haven't gone in 16 years,
Yeah.
I get it. But
and then Warriors fans are committed
they
too.
Just travel,
and you're like, oh, it's just up the road. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, those prices are crazy though.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. It's going to be a tough series. You have the number 1 and number 2 offenses in the league. Here's the thing. The Warriors have been really bad on defense most of the season, but after the All-Star break, their defensive rating is 7th in the league.
Wow.
And that's without Andrew Wiggins and only a little bit of GP2.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think it's going to come down to is you have 2 high-powered offenses. Who can play the better defense?
Yeah.
And I believe it's the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Warriors have been bad on the road. I don't know. You know what? Give me the Warriors in 7.
Wow, 7. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking they're winning a road playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
A road game 7. Interesting. Okay.
I know they've been bad on the road this season. They did win 2 games in the Boston Garden last year.
Right. They've proven yeah. What is it? 22 straight playoff series with a road playoff win. I think it's 22.
Yeah.
I got to check my number on that, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
it's a lot. So they can easily win a road playoff game there. I'm going Warriors. I'm trying to pick the games. I think I'm going to say Warriors in 6.
That was originally my pick.
Yeah.
I was like 6, but I'm like, what? It might be 7. It might be 7.
And you know what? Like I'm giving a lot of love to Sacramento, man. They've been great all year.
I'm bummed that our 2 favorite teams have to play in the first round.
We've been on the Kings from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
we love it. The Light the Beam thing was big.
I was hoping they could play in the Western Conference Finals or something.
There you go. Yeah. No, I think that I'm going with experience. I'm going with the team that, until I'm proven otherwise, when healthy, does not lose in the playoffs. I think what you said was huge. Both high-powered offenses. Who do I have more trust in to play defense? Sacramento's been a bad defensive team this year. They just usually outscore, which I think will happen a couple times, which is why I'm giving them, why it's going 6 in my opinion.
Yeah, when Sabonis and Fox get going, it's very dangerous.
I think I would expect them to win one of the first 2. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or on Monday. I think that they're very capable. But yeah, like I said, I'm believing in that core until it's broken up or until we see otherwise. And you're getting Andrew Wiggins back.
Yeah.
Which is, a big reason I think for the struggles this year. He had injuries. He came back, wasn't great when he came back, and then he's been out for 6 weeks. So
if the Warriors do win in Sacramento tonight, that spells big trouble for the Kings.
Yeah.
If they win game 1, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Kings losing a tough game or, losing game 1 and then coming back and winning game 2. I could easily see that. But I think you're right. That takes a lot of them taking game 1 would be like, oh, okay, they're here and this is going to be a series. Whereas if the Warriors win game 1, it's going to be how long is this going?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I agree.
It's going to be a good series, though. I'm excited.
Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns against the Clippers. It's a bummer Paul George is banged up.
I was going to say that, too. Yeah.
It takes a lot out of this series, I think.
Yep.
So I have Phoenix in 6 because I think Kawhi's going to, do a lot of things to hang in there. Kawhi can win you a game or 2 on his own.
They still have a lot of weapons, man. They're very deep.
They're very deep. But, it would be it's such a bummer with the George being hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with Phoenix as well. I think I'm still concerned with Phoenix long term. Like, I don't know. People are pegging them to win the championship and go to the finals, and I'm like, I just don't feel like they've had enough time as a group to form chemistry in like those real tough situations, right? Which the playoffs are going to present. Like, I can see them getting knocked off at some point. If Paul George was there and Clippers were full strength, I might have had it going 7 or even having the Clippers winning. But
same.
As it is, I think I'm going Phoenix in. I think it's going to be a 5-game series.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And even as I'm saying that, I'm like, Kawhi might get you 2, but I just feel like it's going to wear, they have so many weapons, Phoenix does, and I feel like offensively it's going to be more of a struggle for
KD and Booker is a lot
Clippers
to handle.
To keep up. It's a lot, and just for the Clippers to keep up point-wise without Paul George, and they can really lock in on, I know Phoenix isn't great defensively. So, yeah, I'm saying 5. It could easily be 6, though. But, yeah, I think we're both going with the Suns.
All right. Is that it for the West? Do we miss anyone?
No,
that's it for the West.
Yeah.
Okay, so going to the East, we got Milwaukee against play-in winners from last night, Miami. And I have the Bucks just sweeping Miami.
Wow. I mean, listen, Miami looked really bad in the game against the Hawks. It was like I almost didn't recognize them, right? Because I think with the Heat, they're going to work hard, right? You're not going to beat them by
the Heat. The Heat are getting old.
They're
getting old.
Yeah. I mean, listen, playoff Jimmy Butler is a thing.
That's true. Maybe they'll steal a game. And
that's
make it
what
5.
I'm thinking. I'm saying 5 because I've seen Jimmy Butler do stuff where I'm like, he should not have won. And it's just Jimmy Butler putting
especially
them on his
if he
back.
can get to the line. He's really good at getting to the line.
Right. I think Milwaukee wins first 2 at home. Maybe Miami steals game 3. And then, Milwaukee finishes out. Something like that.
Yeah, I have it going 5. I can see 5.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if it gets to a point where Milwaukee's just too much and they sweep, like that could be the end of this era of of the Heat as far as them needing to like make big
rebuild.
Changes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they still have shooters. They still have Jimmy Butler. Like I'm giving him at least a game. So.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics against the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta won the play-in game over Miami. And
this is tough.
I think Trae Young can steal a game. Maybe.
I
have Boston. Boston.
Right.
I think I have Boston in 5.
Okay. I'm actually going to say Boston in 6. I feel like Atlanta, they're a very streaky team to me. Like, I just feel like I was really
They can get
impressed.
hot. They can get hot.
I was really impressed with the win over the Heat. I feel like
And they're a whole team with Quinn Snyder as their coach now.
That's a big difference too. I felt like they really
You can game plan.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I changed it. Boston in 6.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
And Murray has been a great signing for Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Murray.
I just feel like they're not going to give up easily, and I feel like Boston's I feel like going to go far in the playoffs in the East. I don't know how far. I'm just I think they're a good team, but I feel like they've had some struggles of late. Right? They came out of the season like crazy gangbusters. Right? They were like the top offense ever, and were just destroying teams. And then kind of like Denver and some other teams, they've kind of taken their foot off the pedal a bit, right? They had some injury stuff. Wasn't there was a freak injury with them, right? Did you hear about that with Jaylen Brown? Didn't he cut his hand or something did you hear about this?
No. Not on my radar.
I'm trying to look it up real quick. I know this is so he had a hand injury. Had to have stitches.
Okay.
So, I think he'll be fine.
Left hand or right hand, I wonder. That's
Why is it not telling me?
I'm more concerned if it's the right hand than the left hand, but
so
anyway.
So it says the injury occurred when he dropped
Boston in 6.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw this in there. It's weird. The injury occurred when he dropped a vase while watering plants and tried to clean up the broken glass. That's what he's saying. Okay. I mean, he might have done it, doing something else and said that. But I mean, can you imagine like of the ways to get hurt?
Yeah.
So anyways,
that's like Jeff Kent falling off his truck, washing it back in the day. Remember that story?
Yep. Or Monte falling off a moped.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like Trae Young and company, like I could see them stealing a game. Are they going to steal a game in Boston? That's a good question. I mean, I just think they're gonna be annoying.
Yeah,
is where I have it. They're gonna like piss
like
Boston
I
off.
said, Snyder's a really good coach.
Snyder's a good coach.
So.
Trae Young is annoying. Like it's just an annoying thing to deal with, right? And then you've got good players around him. So I'm going 6 on that one.
Okay, I'm changing to 6 too. Okay. Boston in 6.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets. I still say that sometimes.
I wish they were still in New Jersey, man.
Against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 76ers, after the first 15 or 18 games, are the best record in the league. Embiid is rolling. Harden maybe having some health issues, but he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
Overall. This Brooklyn team, I think it's cool how they hung in there after trading away Kyrie and KD. And it's a nice story, but I got the Sixers in 5.
Sweep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, I just think
actually I changed. I agree with the sweep. Let's go sweep.
I just think they're just too much, man. Phillies, they've got so many weapons, and the Nets, like you said, it's been admirable the job they've done. After that, the whole team blew up. But yeah, I mean, listen, the way Cam Thomas has been playing in Brooklyn, he could have like a 40, 50-point game. Like he's been unreal, man. But
they got a good young core now to build off of.
I like their core, man,
and lots of picks.
And they got Bridges from Phoenix. Like that was a really good pickup. He's still young and like a really good defensive player. And I think they will be good. But yeah,
I think they're gonna turn into something in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I could see that. But this is a sweep to me. I mean, it could go 5. They might steal a game. I don't see it.
Yeah. All right. Next we have, which I think is one of the most interesting series in the East or overall, is the Cleveland Cavaliers against the New York Knicks. I have this going 7 with Cleveland pulling it out.
Cleveland's got home court advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were. I mean, it's super close.
Yeah, it's 4v5.
Like a lot of people listen to just a bunch of different podcasts and think people predicting things. It's like 50-50. Like nobody knows.
That's why I have it going 7.
I think the Knicks won the season series against them, which doesn't.
I never put too much
A lot of
stock in
times it
regular
doesn't mean
season
things.
matchups because it's like who was in, who was
Right,
out,
right.
what was the schedule like, was it the end of a road trip?
Yeah.
I really don't like looking at regular season matchups because there's so many X factors, too many
Yeah.
variables.
Yeah. You know what? I have a bias here. I have a lot of
Go
Knicks,
with it.
I have
Go
a
with
lot of
it.
Knicks fans in my life.
Go with it.
Been to Knicks games. I'm enjoying like the season they've had and like what they put together. Julius Randle is back. He's supposed, he was injured. He's supposed to be back for game 1.
Jalen Brunson's been fantastic.
Listen, Cleveland's very good. Cleveland could absolutely win. I'm going Knicks to 7, baby. New York. That's my
I like
East
it.
Coast team, man. Like
I like it.
I've kind of adopted like rooting for them out here. They're just fun, man. So
I like it.
I think it's a toss up. Honestly, I have no idea, but New York at 7. Let's do it, baby.
All right. Well, we have a game starting here in like an hour.
Do you have
First
do you
game.
have a finals prediction? Or should we save it? I'm just saying before the playoffs start, like just a feeling on like because if we predict
Finals
it, it would be-
prediction? Fine. I'm gonna go until it's proven otherwise. Fine. I'm gonna go Warriors Bucks.
Ooh, okay, all right. You know what? Maybe we save who we think will win and with
I'm
in
just saying.
games and
I
all
have
that.
Warriors Bucks.
Okay,
Yeah. How about you?
I'm also going Warriors, of course, because I have to. Like I said,
Until someone knocks them down.
right, yeah, exactly. And I just like in the West, I think there's good teams, but I don't think they're scared of anyone. Like I just am like, I just like you said until they prove otherwise. And in the East, I like the Bucks. I like that pick. But just to make it a little different, so it could be interesting. One of us gets it right. I'm gonna go Philly.
It's going to be Boston,
Philly.
Milwaukee, or Philly. It's going to be one of those three.
I think it, like you said, it could be any one of them. I feel like this is a Philly year. Embiid, we think we'll get MVP. And I think that would be a fun series, man.
So you know what would happen? Philly would go up 3-1 with Doc Rivers in the finals, and then the Warriors would come back and win it.
Cool story, Glenn. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some interesting Doc Rivers things on the internet this week, right? Because I don't know if you saw this. I tagged you a little bit in it on Twitter, but basically he had some comments about how somebody asked him if he thinks Philly is a more well-built team and can go further. And he kind of threw his Clippers teams under the bus. Like
he said that team was never going to win
Yeah,
it
it was
because
never gonna win.
There wasn't the chemistry. There wasn't the chemistry.
Stop it. He had enough. My thing is, I feel like
That team was so unlikable.
I agree they were unlikable. But if you're talking about talent, if you're talking
there's a
about
Chris Paul factor. There's a Chris Paul factor.
I
He's a
agree.
great player, but
I agree, but you're telling me that team didn't have talent enough to
I
do
know.
it. Like
He's making excuses.
to me, that's saying you didn't get the job done,
Yeah.
Doc Rivers, and you've blown multiple 3-1 leads, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of like, so I mean, I just think that's a cop out to say, oh, it was.
I know.
We didn't have enough to get it.
He's just making excuses for that 3-1 track record. That's what he's doing.
I'm saying, he's bothered me for a long time. I think he gets a lot of praise, and I'm like, I think he's a good coach.
He's a good coach, but has flaws.
Well, I don't have him at a Hall of Fame record, right? I mean, at a Hall of Fame clip. Like, I feel like the one time he won it all, he had 3 Hall of Famers, and like it kind of came
But
together.
he's still
for
a
him.
very, very good coach.
He's a very good coach. Yes, I would put him.
He just has
he's in the
fatal
upper
flaws.
echelon.
He has fatal flaws.
He's in the upper echelon. I'm not putting him up there with the greatest coaches. Sorry.
He's not
No.
Popovich for sure. He's not Steve
people
Kerr.
were
He's
putting,
not.
people were putting him up there like top 3 coaches. I'm like, no.
Yeah, he's
no.
not Spoelstra. Spoelstra's a better coach.
Right. I think there are even a lot better.
He reminds me
X's and
of Budenholzer in Milwaukee. Really good coach, but has some serious flaws too.
Yeah, I think Budenholzer's even a better X's and O's guy than Doc. Like, I don't know.
But there's times where he doesn't make adjustments very well.
Who's that?
Anyway.
Budenholzer? Yeah. No.
Budenholzer.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I didn't
It's a common criticism
Right.
of him.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go off. I just,
Yeah.
it bothers me when people, when you don't take any accountability for like your role in that, and you're just like, oh yeah, we didn't have enough to do it. Like,
I know.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I think either of those series would be a great finals. You know what I mean? Like Warriors against either of those teams, or against a rematch against Boston would be fun too.
Who's your secondary pick from the West if it's not the Warriors?
Probably Phoenix.
I would agree, just because of KD and Booker together. Yeah.
Yeah, probably Phoenix. I see people saying that, Kendrick Perkins saying the Lakers are going to win it all. Stop it. That's not happening. I don't really trust anyone else out of the West.
Yeah.
To make it all the way.
And everyone's disrespecting Denver hard, but there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, their playoff.
We'll get into that later. We don't have to dwell on that now, but yeah. All right. Well, that was a good little recap, and I'm excited for the games to get going. We got one going just very shortly here.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we're going to get on a little more frequently, right? Maybe a couple. Now
it's the playoffs. We'll probably do like 2 a week, for recapping partway through the series. And
maybe like the beginning of the week, and the end of the week, or something like that. Like just kind of like bookmark what's happened so far.
Yeah.
So.
We'll be doing a lot more episodes during the next 2 months. So
absolutely. And if you can comment in the let us know what you think, what your picks are for the series. Because I think a lot of people are going to have different ideas. Like there's a lot of toss ups. So yeah,
you guys are Warriors homers. It's like, well, we admit that. Yeah,
we do. The name of our pod is a Steph Curry quote. So
yeah, it's no secret,
right?
I'm wearing a Warrior shirt. Like,
right.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening, and please subscribe.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you soon.
Peace.